Sketchy live. We're live.
Oh, we're live. Hey, what's going on? It's the day after the Super Bowl.
Yup.
Did you get enough? Hopefully you did. Because tonight we're serving up the bacon, maybe some ham. Yeah, could be. A little bit of that Boss Hogg action. Sketchy live starts now. Kablam!
We're back.
Hey, what's going on? It's Sketchy Live Monday.
Yes.
You've made it. You found the right place to be on Monday night. Hey, football's over. We're heading into baseball season. We got hockey going on, but it ain't happening tonight. You're with us, hanging on to Sketchy Live. I'm Johnny Jalopy, your sketching fool. With me, as always, the lovely, the talented, the smart, the hip, the hippie, Ity-B.
Is it because of the beanie?
Yeah, well, you know,
Hey guys, we are
straight up gangsta.
season 6, episode 6 tonight.
Yeah.
You are in for a treat. Johnny, what are you sketching up tonight?
Well, we have visited long ago.
It was season 3 back in 2020.
Yeah, we
Episode 9.
probably one of our first where I tried to do a little bit of caricature type things with the Dukes of Hazzard. So we did Bo and Luke Duke, the Duke boys, and we did the General Lee.
Yes.
So I thought, how fun would it be to do a complimentary piece to the General Lee? And sure, we could do Roscoe's police car. That'd be fun, right? The police car, or we could do Daisy's Dukes. Jeep, I mean. Daisy May, I believe is the name. Or yeah, I think is the name. Maybe.
Maybe.
I have to look that up. We could have done Cooter's Pooter. I mean, his tow truck. That'd have been kind of a crappy thing to do, but
Literally.
But I thought, how fun would it be if we do Boss Hogg's,
Yes.
the Bo and Luke Dukes. That's their arch nemesis, is Boss
Their
Hogg.
enemy.
He's always trying to get up Uncle Jesse's butt and do all kinds of stuff.
Uncle Jesse.
Well, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, didn't he have a truck?
He sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tonight we're gonna do Boss Hogg's 70 Caddy.
Nice.
Of course, he's driven around town generally by he had a driver, but in this one I'm gonna put Roscoe P. Coltrane is at the wheel driving Boss
Really?
to the Boar's Nest. We're adding the Boar's Nest in it.
Fun.
So here we go.
Let's get over there. Let me show you the. There's the design. And Johnny worked on this when he came home from his day job today. So diligently laying down that line work for you. Save some time tonight.
Yep.
So we're gonna watch him get it sketched.
Get it
up.
sketched.
Sketch it up. All right, let me tell you who we've got on tonight. We've got 31 people watching. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
Happy that you're here.
Thanks.
Tonight. Thanks. We've got Jimmy Barker. Hey, guys, from Southern West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Mountain
Mountain
Love, take me home.
Wouldn't it suck if he's like, I hate you on Denver?
We've got Dan Flores.
What? There he
He
is.
says,
The
"Yo."
master of disaster. Listen, artist extraordinaire. Yes, go check out his work. And of course,
Sketchable artisan as well.
the sketchable artisan. I would say
He was
the
a
sketch.
trendsetter.
Not a trendsetter. That would be trending.
Oh.
Not trending. The sketchable artisan.
Oh, I'm sure he's trending.
No, well, I'm not saying he's not trending, but he's not doing it because of trends. He is the sketchable artisan.
And you are following in some very big footsteps.
Yes, those are some big shoes.
Johnny is also
that dude.
That
dude's got some wicked cool art, and wow, I just went full Canadian there. Wicked cool.
But that wasn't. That's Boston.
Well, it's you people.
They say wicked.
It's you Easterners.
Lizzie said, hello, you too. Happy Monday to you all. Welcome.
So I'm getting a start. I haven't gone to the Caddy yet, just because I really want to get the Boar's Nest logo thing down. So we really get that. Come on, that was the cool place. That's where Daisy worked.
Right.
At the Boar's Nest. That's where all the things happen.
Hangout. It was either their house or the Boar's Nest.
True. Or in town.
Or on the road.
Doing slides and drifts.
Sliding over hoods.
That's right.
Dan Flores says, I love the intro.
Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah, that's something Johnny put together one day. We're looking for some new intro stuff. I miss, my son did our intro before. He did a really cool guitar thing, and we used that for 4 or 5 years.
So, yeah, it was time for a change.
So we only just recently added this last year. So, yeah. We've got Ivan Esteves.
Hey, what's going on?
Hand pink waving.
Oh, nice.
Richard Nix is watching, tuning in.
What's up, Rick?
Ivan, by the way, tuning in from YouTube. So, yeah, you are streaming live right now on YouTube and on Facebook, Johnny's personal page, and the art page, Johnny Jalopy art.
Sweet and butter.
We've got John Steinfeld joining us tonight. Let's go, Johnny.
What's going on? We're on up the Boar's Nest real quick, and then we're gonna jump right into Boss's car. But I wanted to get, because I don't want to lose the background portion.
You don't want to lose it. Bob McLaren is joining us. Hey, from the warm 51st state. Yeah, my dad and I were talking earlier today, and it's the same thing. Yeah, it's not even winter up there.
It's a summer.
Pretty much, it's a spring day. So yeah.
Well, then there's no excuses.
He blames it on the fact that he has his snowblower prepped.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the people who wash their clothes and then it rains.
Yeah, geez.
Lou Jr. joining us from Kissimmee tonight.
What?
On the corner from us.
Yes.
Lizzie Doubletree is doing her Wednesday auction on her YouTube channel, Ms. Butter 34, 8 o'clock tomorrow. Come on over, she says.
Come on over.
The Dukes of Hazzard. That is right. We are having fun.
That's right. We're doing the Dukes boys. Well, we're doing their arch nemesis, Boss Hogg, sitting in his caddy. But the Boar's Nest is where Boss did a lot of his little dirty deeds. Is where a lot of that action happened. So that's why we're doing the Boar's Nest too.
Is that where he did a lot of his plotting and planning?
Well, that's where he did a lot of dirty shit.
Getting those pesky Duke boys.
Them damn Duke boys.
I don't really know the premise. Like, I know it was a series. Was it a movie as well?
No.
So it was just
it was redone as a movie. Johnny Knoxville and those people did a reboot.
So what was his big beef with the Duke boys? Because I thought it was them getting into trouble.
It was them getting into trouble.
What kind of trouble could they have possibly gotten?
Because they were constantly driving around town and as the song says, just a good old boys, never meaning no harm. They would basically, Boss Hogg was constantly doing shady stuff around town, where he was taking money from people or going to foreclose on someone's land,
and they would exploit it.
Yeah, he was constantly doing that kind of stuff. The police were corrupted. They were constantly writing tickets to these poor kids. They were just driving their car out in the middle of nowhere, jumping bridges. How's that against the law?
They didn't mean harm. We've got old school.
There were two modern Robin Hoods. I mean, they would really try to help make their way any way they know how.
Right. Mike Ferrucci at Old School's Garage is joining us. Good sketchy evening from a crisp 46 degrees here in Homosassa.
Wow.
It is a little chilly today.
Yeah, it wasn't chilly today.
Cooler in Florida than it was in Jersey today. Maybe.
Some people got to get outside and they might see that it was hot today.
We have Paul Marziani joining us from Bradenton. He
home
is
of the motorsport.
Yeah, Bradenton Motorsports Park.
Yeah, we got to get there one
We do.
time. Yeah, we got to start talking about it
I
and
know,
get
and
there.
just do it.
There we go. There's the Boar's Nest sign. Got it all in there.
Cool. Cool boar. Cool boar. Howard Pierpont is in Mineola, Texas tonight.
Nice.
Back on the road Thursday, but it is 62 and overcast there.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Batten down them pitches.
Michael Allen is joining us. Made it to 60 degrees today in Omaha. Going to stay in 3 months.
Wow. Yeah, see,
it's wave up
there.
there.
Up everywhere, right?
I think they need it after that frost that happened.
Yeah, I guess Jack Frost kind of nipped at their nose.
He did. Lizzie said she loves this already. He's not even scratching the surface yet, Lizzie, and she's already dedicated. Jimmy Barker said Daisy had a road runner in the early part. Just another thought.
Yeah. Well, listen, we'll add all those things, man. We will do it. That's the hard part, because we don't want to miss. I don't want to spend like 3 or 4 episodes just drawing one. So that's why we skip around with it. But this is where we revisit.
We'll come back.
I mean, sure, it's 4 years later. Is it how many years?
We like the revisit, though. But this just gets people to go back to the 2020 album on the website. And yes, it is. I said season 3, episode 9.
Wow.
Is what the boys are. So, yep, it was a couple of years ago, for sure. Almost 3 years ago. Matt Williams is joining us. Hello from Idaho. Had a light snowfall this afternoon. It's a little chilly.
Okay, so some people are still getting snow.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Flip Junkie's joining us from YouTube. Hey guys, welcome.
What's up, Flip Junkie?
We've got Mama Wood in the house.
There's me, Mom. She's me, Mom.
She says, "Hi, my babies. Love you all." And again, not just us.
That's right.
Everyone on here, she loves you all. Robert Spear is joining us. He says, "Oh, them Duke boys."
You gotta watch them Dukes. You gotta watch them Dukes.
We've got Dan Flora. Oh, Dan says, "Love you guys."
Yeah, we love you too.
Joking John is joining us from YouTube. We've got a couple YouTube followers tonight. Speaking of YouTube, guys, we have, in like a week's time, we had posted last week that we had reached our 600 subscribers.
Yes.
And within a week, we have 699.
Yeah, we are almost there.
Was my last tally. So
we're getting close.
If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do. Our goal is to get to 1,000. And we're hoping that next week when we go to the show that we can gain some even more people. We're going to probably do some lives while we're at the show, and we will probably post those on YouTube.
Yeah, that's the hope. Yeah.
That it is the goal. So we can drive some viewership over there. Mark Jackman said Daisy had a Jeep. Yep, we will be doing that at some point. So stay tuned. Not sure when. Mr. Wrinkle BK said, "Good day, Ity-Jalopy." Welcome, sir. Greg Gordon said, "Wasn't Waylon the best?"
Yes. No one better. Yes, he's the one that sang the opening credits.
I thought maybe he was in it. I was like, what? We have Ray Swearingen, Ray from Portland, joining us. Welcome, sir. Jimmy said she did have a yellow Roadrunner first. The accelerator stuck in the boys' barrel and it went over a cliff.
Oh.
I don't know what the Roadrunner is. I don't know if I know what that is.
Yeah, you don't really know muscle cars that much.
It was a muscle car?
Yeah. It was literally on the back of a
Daisy Duke's Roadrunner. Oh, okay.
All right, there's the first nest. All in.
Okay, so now you're going to start inking in, so to speak.
Yes. The Caddy.
Okay. Sweet. Here we go. Greg Gordon said Waylon did all the voiceovers, too.
Yes, he did. Yes.
So like the narrating?
That's right.
Okay.
Well, this guy did that Burton getting dude, and them crazy big boys.
He did have that long accent.
And then there was always some suspenseful thing that kept hanging on. Like, oh my God, what happened? I sure hope they can get away with it.
Did they used to do the stop action thing where
of course, in the midst of a jump,
right,
and then they go, "Uh-oh, look like them two boys in a bit of a trouble. Hope they sure can get out of it."
And then it went to commercial.
Yeah. And then it comes back, and you hear that, and then it's, well, some other
looks
thing.
like they cleared the bridge.
Yeah.
I remember it being on TV. I couldn't tell you one episode. Couldn't tell you what happened. I remember the people.
Does anybody have a favorite episode? Talk about your favorite. Let's hear your favorite episodes.
Favorite episode? Guys?
Obviously you don't have one because you just said you don't remember any of them.
Joe Lombardo is joining us. He said, "Hey guys, Jersey's here."
Hey Joe. You know what my favorite episode was?
What?
Was when the Duke boys were being chased by Roscoe, and then they would have to jump a bridge, and then in the middle of the air they would stop and then go to commercial, and then they would land on the other side, and then they'd get out their crossbows or their
they had weapons?
Their bow and arrows, and they'd shoot the bridge and it'd blow up, and then the cars would fall on the other side. That was my favorite episode.
Did that happen?
Pretty much every episode.
I didn't think they had weapons.
Yeah, of course they did.
I don't remember them having
weapons. Dynamite. You gotta get that dynamite and that nitro.
Lizzie said she loves all of them. So she is a fan. She watched a lot of TV. Yep. She's a fan of a lot of stuff. I would go as far as to say she's an FOS.
Fan of
sitcoms.
I don't know.
Would you consider this a sitcom? Or was this more of an action?
I mean,
they were half-hour shows, right?
It was a half-hour show for many seasons.
Let me see.
And realistically, I mean, it's the 70s, so you were watching TV. What else were you doing?
Dukes of Hazzard. You know what? I spelled Hazzard wrong.
Of course you did.
I'm going to go back and do it. It's two Z's. This says it was a comedy. 1979.
Well, it was a comedy and a drama and an action
and a love story.
It
was on for 7 seasons. Just some good old boys never meaning no harm.
That's right.
Oh, and this is crazy.
What's that?
Because I thought they were brothers, but they're cousins. I didn't know that. That is something I've just learned. That's funny. But cousins Bo and Luke Duke certainly have a way of finding trouble with the law where they turn. Their adventures as the Robin Hoods of their rural community in Hazzard County lead them to wild escapes aided by their souped-up Dodge Charger called the General Lee. Right. The boys' nemesis is Boss Hogg, a corrupt politician who constantly sicks his minion Sheriff Roscoe P. Coltrane on the Dukes.
Always messing with the Dukes. Them damn Duke boys gotta stop us from getting them. He'd be running the casino out of the back of a semi-truck with strippers, and then the Duke boys would find out because what was happening is they were forcing the truck drivers to do it, which wasn't good, and they were like beating on them. So then the Dukes would jump in and stop them.
But you know what they didn't have? Pow. Bam.
Me too.
That was reserved for Batman. Joking Gianna said, I love your sketches. I'm only 12. I try to draw cars sometimes.
Hey, we'll keep at it.
Definitely do.
Please share.
Yes,
please.
Share it on his page.
Please do share your work.
All right. Let me see what other fun facts here we have.
The
1979 to 1985, the show aired for 147 episodes spanning 7 seasons. It was consistently among the top-rated television series in the late 70s. At one point, ranking second only to Dallas, which immediately followed the show on CBS Friday night schedule. Everybody and their brother was watching Dallas.
That's right.
The show is about 2 young cousins who live in rural Georgia and are on probation for moonshine running. So they were criminals.
They were pretty much. No, see, they were getting.
Okay, you didn't tell me that.
Because Boss Hogg kept trying to steal Uncle Jesse's property of Duke's property. So they had to get the money any way they could. And he was corrupt. So they were just
wasn't it Uncle Jesse making the moonshine?
Okay, yes. That's what you do when you're up in the mountains.
I guess.
God.
Young men and their friends and their female cousin, Daisy Duke. She was a cousin as well.
Yeah, you city folks don't get it.
And the other families, such as Patriarch, Uncle Jesse, have various escapades as they evade the corrupt king.
Wait, they were ice skaters?
Not ice-capades, escapades.
Oh.
Boss Hogg and Law Officer Sheriff Roscoe P. Coltrane. The young men drive a customized 69 Dodge Charger.
That's right, it was customized.
Which became a symbol of the show.
It did.
Action, comedy, adventure, and comedy drama. So there was a little bit of everything.
There was a lot of a little bit. It was a little bit about a lot.
Oh my God. And the camera setup, single camera.
Yeah.
They didn't have any fancy stuff.
No fancies. No.
It said running time 45 to 49 minutes, so maybe it was an hour show.
Yeah, it might be.
I bet you it was. CBS Original Network. They did have a reunion, it looks like. And they did have the film. Yeah. I do remember it, though. There were a couple of spin-offs, too, it says. A spin-off named Enos.
Yeah.
Starring Sonny Schroyer aired on CBS.
Yeah. That was kind of lame.
18 episodes before being
lame. Enos wasn't even a good... I mean, he was okay, but he had a thing for Daisy, so she was always using him and abusing him. Like they do.
An animated version of the show called The Dukes aired in '83.
Yeah, there was a cartoon.
Produced by Hanna-Barbera.
There was a cartoon version of The Dukes.
The first season fell under the Coy and Vance era of the live-action show. By the second season, Bo and Luke returned. Who are Coy and Vance?
Well, they're cousins. They were cousins. It was cousins of the cousins.
How many people?
Yeah, what's crazy is they dressed exactly like Bo and the Duke. And the Duke brothers let them use the General Lee for things. So because they were off doing something. I can't remember what they were off doing, but making their way the only way they know how. So I'm assuming that there was some sort of making their way the only way they know how.
Oh, Robert Spears said, how about the season they would not pay Bo and Luke, so they brought in 2 new cousins. Then the next season, Bo and Luke were back.
Yeah.
We were sorry about that. That's funny. Julie Anderson is joining us from the Pacific Northwest.
Because they were making their way.
Would you believe it's snowing here tonight? It won't stick, but really. Oh, wow. Crazy.
I would believe it.
I haven't seen snow in a coon's.
Whoa.
Coon's night. What is it? What's the saying?
It's age.
Coon's age.
Yep.
Coon's age. Lizzie said, Ity-B, you need to watch them on YouTube. They have all of them on there. Yes, it is something that I probably would totally watch. Yeah. I remember enjoying it.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
Lizzie said, yes, it was an hour show. We've got Flotty915 joining us from YouTube. He said, next week's suggestion, 1960 El Camino, but more like a Gene Winfield style.
No.
We actually...
Can do.
Oh, we are going to be here next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't leave until next Thursday to go hit Autorama, guys. We are heading to Detroit. Johnny Jalopy.
Yeah, I'm going to Detroit.
What?
We're on the road. It's going to be great.
Esteban Mesa said, never meaning no harm.
That's
right. They were good-hearted, well-meaning criminals.
They were criminals.
They were moonshine.
They were not criminals.
They were trying to push the Jews.
No, they weren't. They were not criminals. They were just some boys making their way the only way they knew how. Just a little bit more than the law would allow.
I feel bad now that I'm reading this backstory on Coy and Vance. Because it said the new Dukes, previously unmentioned nephews of Uncle Jesse, who were said to have left the farm in '76 before the show had started, were unpopular with the great majority of viewers.
Yeah, because we wanted the Dukes.
The ratings immediately sank, and then it said, hit hard by the significant drop in ratings, Warner Brothers renegotiated with Wolfpack and Schneider And eventually a settlement was reached, and the original Duke boys returned to the series in early '83. How did they explain where the other cousins went?
Well, they went back to school. Them old Duke boys.
Oh my God. It said they quickly realized that 4 Duke boys would not work within the context of the series.
They
Due to
tried.
the huge unpopularity associated with their time on the show, they were quickly written out of the same episode in which Bo and Luke returned. Unreal.
They got to go.
But it does say, although Coy and Vance were never popular, viewers were disappointed by their departure episode.
Right, because they were like, oh, why did we even have to waste our time? Why weren't they already gone a long time ago?
Right.
It was just a lot of it. Everybody was upset.
And the way they explained it, it says Bo and Luke returned from their NASCAR tour just as Coy and Vance leave Hazzard to tend to a sick relative.
Right.
That's how they got
Yeah, they were sick.
It's basically a soap opera.
And it was really that we were just them. They were not good.
Oh.
They weren't even good. They weren't good actors. It was really bad.
Lizzie said, when I was young, I had a crush on Bo Duke. Who didn't? I think we all.
I think everybody had a crush on Luke.
Was he the dark-haired one?
I don't know.
I thought they were both kind of cute. Esteban Mesa said, Steve Mesa from Rigetti High School.
Steve Mesa?
Oh, Mesa.
Right on.
Spud Anderson said, good evening. Just got home to tune in after a preseason track and field coaches meeting. In the snow, Spud? I guess so.
You said that like Dr. Evil. In the snow?
Robert Spear said, I hear Coy and Vance will be at a booth right next to Johnny Jalopy in Detroit.
They probably. They're way more celebrity than me.
Exactly. Although unpopular.
Well, just as probably unpopular as Johnny Jalopy is.
Let's see. Vehicles. The show is estimated to have gone through 250 to 355 cars during the filming. I guess one too many crashes in the General Lee.
Well, there was lots of General Lees.
Yeah, they did have those. Based on the '69 Dodge Charger. It was orange with a Confederate battle flag painted on the roof. Let's see what else we had. So since it was built as a race car, the doors were welded shut.
That's right.
Through the history of the show, an estimated 309 Chargers were used. 17 are still known to exist in various states of repair. I don't know. Like, that's always been my thing when I've watched explosions and stuff. I'm like, oh my, that's a car. Like, that's money. It's like
that's a car.
I feel that. Like
that's a car.
Because I mean, maybe the inside is gutted. It may not even have an engine for some of the stuff
that
they're doing. But I mean, it's still ruined, and somebody's got to fix it.
It's designed to be ruined.
I guess it just seems like a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
That keeps some people in their jobs.
I guess.
Do you hate jobs?
No.
Well, Ity-B is against jobs.
A replica was owned by John Schneider, known as Bose General Lee. In 2008, Schneider sold Bose General Lee at the Barrett-Jackson automobile auction for $230,000.
Wow, 230.
An eBay auction.
A little bit off that.
An eBay auction, which garnered a bid of $9,900,500 for the car, was never finalized, with the purported bidder claiming his account had been hacked.
See what the situation is. I got to move. I got to save from the checking, and what I got to do is I got to move the money from the checking into the safe.
I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a car I'm buying today. Right. Oh my gosh! The other side of the hood has signatures of the cast from the '97 TV movie, which was different.
Fun facts, Ity-B.
Yeah. In 2008, a replica of the General Lee fetched a high bid of $450,000 at the Barrett-Jackson Auto Auction.
Action. And some action of the auto action.
Oh my gosh.
The auto action.
Let's see. What else? These are fun facts. The Duke boys added a custom air horn to the General Lee that played the first 12 notes of the song Dixie.
That's right.
The Dixie horn was not originally planned until a Georgia local hot rod racer drove by and sounded his car's Dixie horn. So they're like, hey,
that's a cool idea.
In addition, the television series Knight Rider began to rival the General Lee stunts.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were 2 seconds away from doing Knight Rider tonight.
Yeah, but what did I say?
You said
I just did a black car.
Yeah, I don't want to do their black car. So.
And after the fiasco that we had with that black car.
We didn't have the fiasco. You had it.
That's what I said. Yeah. We're all in it together.
If you didn't watch last week's episode, tune in and watch somebody lose their mind over here.
Yeah, that's a good one. If you want to watch a good back episode, go watch the Johnny loses his mind.
Yeah.
And beats his wife.
And how his wife deals with it and remains married to him. Yeah. Hazzard police cars. There's an AMC Matador, Dodge Polara, Dodge Monaco, and Plymouth Fury for the police cars.
Yep.
Plymouth Roadrunner, 74 Plymouth Roadrunner, yellow with a black stripe. That was Daisy Duke's car in the first 5 episodes, like we have been taught already by our viewers here. Thank you.
They know what's up.
Then she had that Jeep CJ7. Someone else used to have a Jeep CJ7.
Yeah. Yep.
What year was yours?
79.
And hers was an 80. Very similar. Golden Eagle is what it.
Yeah, it almost had the same kind of vibe as the Trans Am from.
Yep. Our Sissy Spacek movie.
Yes, in Burt Lancaster.
No, it was Tom Selleck. Uncle Jesse's truck was a Ford F-100, so I knew he had a truck, and it was blue, wasn't it?
Yeah.
However, in the early episodes, it had a flare side bed. It was a style side bed. Cadillac DeVille, which we are drawing today, was used as Boss Hogg's car, notably with large bull horns as a horn ornament. In early seasons,
look at
there they are. Boom. In early seasons, Hogg was almost always driven by a chauffeur who was normally nameless and had little or no dialogue, but identified on occasion as being called Alex. And played by several uncredited actors, including stuntman Gary Baxley. The chauffeur would often be dressed in a red plaid shirt and deep brown or black Stetson hat, but on occasion would be an older man, sometimes dressed in more typical chauffeur attire. Right. So you have now. Was Boss Hogg related to Roscoe in any way?
No, he worked for him.
Who am I thinking of then? It must have been in the one we were just talking about.
It is not Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, Smokey and the Bandit was a family. The father was father and son. That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Well, there we go.
Wow, so it's all aimed in. We're getting ready to do some. Look at him. Look at his chin. It looks exactly like him. It's so funny. And he sat in the back always?
Always.
And he had a cigar.
Always had a cigar.
Theme song. We talked about Good Old Boys by Waylon Jennings. There must have been some, because there was some music that they would play in the chasings and stuff like that.
Always Waylon Jennings.
It was. He did the whole soundtrack for all of it. Oh, okay, cool.
It was usually him picking or playing.
Yeah. In 1980, the song reached #1 on the American Country Chart and peaked at #21 on the Billboard Hot 100. That's pretty cool.
Waylon Jennings.
That's pretty cool. We already talked about some of the spin-offs. We got the TV movie. That was in 1997, the reunion. Was it the same people? Did you watch that?
The movie?
Yeah.
Hey, I just told you Johnny Knoxville did a movie.
Well, there was 2 year? There was one in 97 and then 2000.
I did not watch it was probably the correct people in the early one. Because everybody was still pretty young.
Possibly.
Ish. I mean, Daisy, I think, still crammed herself into the Daisy Dukes as well in that deal.
Well, she probably still can cram herself.
Probably can.
She's probably still looking pretty good.
Probably.
Howard Pierpont said, when you aren't watching Johnny, catch the new Ian Marcel on a YouTube channel where he says his favorite build is the Johnny Fun. He did mention that.
He did say that.
He did mention that.
And then quickly come back.
Yeah, he was up on his channel for like half a day and already exceeded our subscribers. So hopefully some of those people are like, who's this Johnny guy? And maybe that's what
who's this Johnny guy that everybody keeps talking about?
Yeah. Come on over. We do fun stuff over here.
We do fun stuff.
People like us. Lizzie said they need to bring it back, the Dukes of Hazzard. I don't know who would even play them now.
Well, they just did, so
they wouldn't be playing dance.
The problem here's the problem. It's not. It definitely doesn't fall in the woke categories.
No, it doesn't. It's a different thing.
So
moonshine's legal now. So
cruisies. They're like, boss, we're running, and then maybe that'd be actually a pretty funny show. It's like, they pulled them over. Did you get it for the moonshine? Like, nobody cares. Did you want some
weed?
To
ABC Liquor.
Did you want some weed along with Wait, what?
Joe Lombardo said a lot of sitcoms never explain any changes, like Richie Cunningham's brother Chip, or even Bewitched Husband changed from Dick York to Dick Sargent.
That's right, Sergeant York.
Who's Richie Cunningham's brother Chip?
You remember Richie Cunningham's brother Chip?
No, I just remember Richie and Joni. I don't remember Chip.
Who
the heck was Chip?
He was a blonde guy.
Was he away at college or something?
Yeah, he was the blonde dude.
I don't remember a blonde dude.
That I think actually then later on went on to be like a love interest of one of the girls on.
Here's what I always thought was weird.
The Brady Bunch or something.
Joni
loved Chachi?
No.
I didn't like it either.
She almost looked Hispanic. She was very dark hair, dark coloring. And then Richie is like white as a ghost and red hair.
Uh-huh.
They didn't look like they were.
If you look at Tom Bosley, who was the dad, dark hair, olive skin.
Really?
Yeah. And then the wife was red hair, olive skin.
We should totally do maybe Fonzie in his car, or Fonzie in his motorcycle.
His moitus. You know what's the funniest thing about this? At one point, Henry Winkler was the toughest guy.
Everybody wanted to be him. Yeah.
That was the epitome of the tough guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you think the rock stuff? Can he go? And then people pass out? No.
Or could he go? And all the girls swarm around.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah.
Right.
I wanted to be.
Who
didn't want to be Fonzie?
He was the coolest. Old school girl said, "Looking awesome, Johnny." Yeah, this one's quite the scene. Of the designs that you do, I love it when you just draw a card.
Uh-huh.
But I love the scenes that tell a story.
Right.
And this is totally telling a story. And if you've watched the show, you know what the story is. Draco is joining us tonight. Draco cycled all the way from Georgia. Looking awesome. Sorrel Burke would be proud. Who is Sorrel Burke?
That's who played Boss Hogg. Soiled Burke.
Soiled. Robert Spears said, haha, they look like the way I remember what the Hanna-Barbera cartoons look like.
Yeah, I took a little,
little cartoony.
Come on.
Little cartoony. Lizzie said, Boss Hogg and Roscoe Coltrane were related. Boss Hogg was married to Roscoe's sister. Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure there was.
There was a relation.
I mean, it was the mountains.
Yeah.
Everybody was related.
And they were drinking moonshine.
So what?
Why was that such a big deal?
For you? I don't know why you're so...
Was it prohibition?
What? It was a big deal because it was illegal.
Because of the prohibition law?
No, not because of prohibition.
I don't understand why it was illegal.
Because it was a higher alcohol content. Which was illegal. And then, of course, the states they were in, a lot of them were in the Bible Belt, which was no booze.
Nix the Ooze Bay.
Ooze Bay. It's the booze ray.
Nix may the Ooze Bay. Mary Evans is joining us. Welcome, Mary. Our little favorite people.
Nobody wants to sit with the Ooze Bay and the booze ray.
Joe Lombardo said, Ity-B started trouble in the Cunningham house.
Yeah, right? She's calling Joni. And what if she was?
Then how was she? There's the mom was
maybe Mrs. Cunningham was a hoe.
Don't you dare!
She could have been.
She was a wonderful respected woman.
No,
she wasn't old.
She wasn't so respected because she was a hose beast.
No, she wasn't. What else do we have?
Well, I didn't. Just because she is.
She's not.
Well, you don't know that.
Is there a real place called Hazzard County? Do we know where the setting was for Hazzard County?
Yes, there is currently a town that has Cooter's Garage and Museum for Hazzard County, and then I want to say there's a boar's nest that they've made.
Really?
Yeah.
Where was it filmed though? Country of origin.
Probably a backlot somewhere.
It doesn't say.
Did you just say country of origin?
Yeah, I'm just reading the fun facts. Okay, part of this plan was to do production from Georgia to the Warner Brothers lot in Burbank, California,
yep.
to simplify production as well as develop a larger workshop. How do you Georgia and California are so completely
different. Have you never been to a backlot? You clearly haven't. It's
not a full backlot. No,
it's not that hard.
Really?
Oh, it's easy.
So it's all fake?
Every show do you think Sex in the City happened in New York? In New York? It didn't.
I would have thought it would have.
Did you think Breaking Bad they actually filmed in Arizona?
Yes, or New Mexico. It was New Mexico.
No.
The desert scenes was on a backlot for miles and miles.
Do you think Jaws was filmed out in the ocean?
Yes.
No.
Where was it? In someone's pool.
In a big giant tank.
No, there were. I mean, maybe some of the scenes, but there were beach scenes. You can't make that stuff up.
Yeah, you can.
No. Then you need to take me
to Disneyland. I'm not drinking. You're good.
Then you need to take me to Disneyland.
Why would I take you to Disneyland?
Because our Disney World doesn't have the backlots.
It's Universal Studios.
Whatever.
That's where you would learn.
It doesn't have the backlots. I need backlots, people. I need
you need something.
I need experience. That's what I need.
It's amazing. Back to the Future, you think was filmed in a small little town?
Yeah,
it was filmed in
were neighborhoods.
Yeah,
they created fake neighborhoods.
They're already fake neighborhoods made.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Well, literally, they could be filming New York on this side, spin the camera around, and then it's Chicago over here. Spin the camera around a quarter of another way, and you're in rural Texas.
No.
Yes.
When they're pulling out and they see you see this whole shot of the block.
That's all B-roll, man.
I don't know what that means.
That means they went somewhere in the real place, shot that for 2 seconds. Yeah, it shot it for 2 seconds. Just to, like for instance, Seinfeld. You think they filmed that in New York?
Yes.
No.
The streets of New York.
No, that was on a film stage. That was filmed in a studio.
In New York.
No.
Really?
Yes.
What a letdown. Like, do you think people think we're filming in a studio right now?
We are filming in a studio.
This is our dining room table.
It is a studio apartment. It's so funny. Babe, I gotta get you. Oh my.
Todd Parker said, now I love that. Hazzard County, Georgia is real. See? Thank you.
Okay, there are places where they might have filmed some stuff.
Like, for instance, I lived in Tucson. We used to go to old Tucson. That's where the movie Tombstone was. But it may be fabricated, but it's still a real place.
It was, yeah. They made that there. Most of those buildings are all facades. It's just the front.
Have you been to old Tucson?
You don't need to go.
I've been there. They're not facades. They're functioning places.
Maybe they've made them functioning since they did the movie.
So you're saying the outside of that movie, they were walking around and just front face stuff. And when they went into the saloon, they didn't actually go into a saloon. They went into a sound stage. Why? Why do people go to that trouble when they could just have a real thing?
Because you have to control sound.
You can. They have booms.
No, you can't. So here's the problem. There are movies where they're filming a Western scene and it's supposed to be in the 1830s or something, right? And then if you really watch and no one's paying attention, in the background, there's a jet plane flying in the air. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that happens that'll ruin a movie. Or they're out there filming and it's really quiet, right? It's supposed to be this real intense scene, and then somebody will be riding motorcycles up in the mountains. You can't have that, so you got to go. So you go to a sound stage where you can control the sound.
Robert Spears said the main town was the backlot of Universal, and they filmed like 5 shows in that same lot. We took a tour.
Yep.
Damn it!
Preaching the choir.
I've never been. Where did you tour this? Why haven't I not? We've been to every park. Why have I not seen?
Because you live in Florida, it doesn't happen here. Now they had a backlot at Universal here in Florida. There was a small backlot, which they built just for the sole purpose of making it like the backlot in California. But the backlot in California is a true working sound. It is a true working studio. So even though there's tours and stuff going on, there are areas where they're filming movies and TV shows
as we speak.
And then you go to the Warner Brothers lot, and there's a whole other thing there, which is where Batman was filmed. And then Sex and the City, new TV shows are being filmed there that are supposed to be in New York or in Kansas or someplace. And it's in California. Why? Oh, because it doesn't rain. It doesn't snow. They can control the weather. They want snow, they make snow. They want rain, they make it rain.
It's just not right.
It is right. No, it's not. It's not done. Do you think there's a real place called Star Wars?
No. All of that's fake.
Well, how come you can't believe in that?
Because it's a different planet. It's not from our planet.
You don't know?
So like the old Westerns and everything, those were on backlots too?
Absolutely. In fact, they went to the Soul Trouble. Most big Western actors back in those days. John Wayne, I think, was one of the first guys that actually was a little taller. Mm-hmm. But all the other big actors in Westerns back then were like 5'8". So how do you make him look menacing? They would actually build the facades where the door frames were like 5 foot. So he looked way bigger coming in and out of the doors.
Hollywood is
it's called movie magic.
It's lies.
It's not lies, it's magic. Now, you say that. You're saying this whole lies thing. Now you know why scary movies to me are stupid. Because it's all bullshit. It's not real. I've seen all the tricks of how they do scary movies. That's why it's not scary.
It can still be scary.
It's not.
Joe Lombardo said Seinfeld was actually shot in New York.
Oh, it wasn't.
How do you know?
You guys are wrong.
Let's see.
There might have been spots sometimes where it was filmed on location, but the majority of it was on the soundstage.
Where was Seinfeld?
Jerry's apartment was not in New York. They have since built replicas of those things where you can tour them in New York, but it is not there.
It says Seinfeld filming locations.
Now, again, filming locations doesn't mean that they can go to places sometimes to do B-roll, to get them walking in the street sometimes. Other times, they're on a soundstage. All you got to do is look at the sets on half the Seinfeld deals. Like the grocery store, or Kramer wants his groceries. That's fake.
It says the creator of Seinfeld, Larry David, and Jerry Seinfeld himself both spend plenty of time in New York City, and it shows when you watch Seinfeld. However, some of the scenes that are clearly shot on set are sure to prompt the question, where was it filmed? The bulk of the shooting was not in New York City, but in L.A. Damn it! In fact, we shot the pilot at Red Studios, known as Renmar Studios at the time of production.
Oh, no.
San Fernando Valley.
Tragedy on Seinfeld Street.
Joe said, but I get you, Johnny, for the most part. Okay. It wasn't shot in New York.
Sorry, buddy.
Robert
Still love
said,
you.
on this very special episode of Sketchy Live, he learns about movie magic.
Right?
Pretty much. Robert Spears said they actually filmed Star Wars on the moon. Tatooine was too far away and too long ago.
Right, yeah. That's why the space shuttle was made.
Right?
Because they were like, we got to get gotta get the crew and props and all that kind of stuff up there. It was a big mess.
Such silliness, you guys. This is me just
Silliness.
learning along the way.
It's just me.
It's just me learning.
It's just a girl learning to
Guys, are you even watching what's going on here? Because Johnny is doing some cool stuff. Let's see. I haven't been watching your design at all because I've been too busy worrying about what's happening in Hollywood. Oh, Joseph, JJ, you are right. Sorry for beating the proverbial dead horse.
It's okay. I knows me stuff about movies and TV.
He has to be right.
I don't have to be right.
You just are.
Listen, when I was a kid, I was a huge. I love movies, so we lived close. I mean, it wasn't close. It was an hour, 2 hours to Universal Studios. Every chance I got, I could have went to Magic Mountain and all these places. I wanted to go to Universal Studios, and I rode that tour.
And it changes all the time.
Oh, they're always filming new stuff, so the backlot is always changing. Now the tour itself, you're still going to see Jaws coming out of the water and doing the thing, and the tour's the same. But there's when they take you into the backlot is always changing. So one time, Back to the Future 2 is just wrapping up, so they still had some of the cars parked in the street, and then they were filming. I forget what TV show was going on. It was a big one back then. I want to say like Full House or something, and they were filming that back there.
That was San Francisco.
No, it was the backlot.
Oh no!
It wasn't. Yeah.
Robert Sheen says, too many years ago to count, I was on the 10 freeway in LA. I passed a car hauler that had 2 General Lees, 2 of Roscoe's sheriff cars, and Uncle Josie's pickup.
Yeah.
Can you imagine seeing that coming down the street?
You're like, dang, where's that going?
That's cool.
Well, they were probably heading to whatever that ranch was called where they'd film all the outdoor stuff.
Joe wants to know, but then again, are you guys really filming in Florida with some backlot next to a Western scene?
You don't even know.
Yeah, this is actually somebody's storage unit.
Yeah. we're in a storage.
We draw our own lighting.
Yeah. It's not even real.
Gavin Little's joining us. Better late than never. And hello from Washington. LOL. What a fun design. It brings back memories of watching the show with my dad when I was a kid. Gavin, you may have missed this since you're just joining us, but what was your favorite episode? Do you have one? Nobody
answered that.
Tuned in with their favorite episode. So
please share. I'd love to hear.
Let us know. Keep the comments coming because Johnny is trying to focus in here on finishing this up. We're at 52 minutes right now on Boss Hogg's 1970 Cadillac from Dukes of Hazzard. And if you're just joining us, thank you for tuning in, whether it's from YouTube or from Facebook. You can find the General Lee in our sketches from 2020 on the website. It is season 3, episode 9 with the General Lee. So we've already done that one with Bill and Luke Duke, cousins, as I've been made aware, not brothers.
Not brothers.
Morton Griggs said, when I went through Universal back in 2009, they were filming Real Housewives.
Oh, nice.
See, and I thought that took place in houses. So they actually just brought these people in and said, share a meal in this backstage area and pretend it's real? How? They call it reality TV, and it's still not real.
Ity-B is shocked.
I'm shocked and dismayed, actually. Shock and awe. I don't like it. Scott Strickland's joining us. Scotto here checking in from Denellen. That's a good-looking caddy there. Denellen, right up the road from us. We attempted camping up there. Did we? Well, no, we did Rainbow River up there. That's what we did. We didn't try to go camping up there. It was Rainbow River we did Denellen.
Cool place, though.
Oh, they do have camping up there, and we could totally do that again.
We try.
Yeah. Love it up there. This is turning out really cool. What is the green behind the building?
It's the trees and stuff. I'm just Color in now.
Gavin said episode itself, I'm not sure. However, I did enjoy the movie they made and the scene where they launched Generally onto the highway. Okay, so he's a fan of the movie. Gavin, in the movie, were there any original characters or were they all new actors? Because I did not see it.
In which one?
He just said the movie. There were a couple movies made, so I don't know which one he's talking about. But yeah, this is a fun one. We had actually done a list. You guys all gave some good input. A couple weeks ago, we were asking for some new ideas for 2023. So Johnny had some drawing prompts. And this was actually not one of the ones on the list.
Sorry.
But still a great design nonetheless. And again, we have the complementary design to go with it. So I think it's kind of cool that you can do a twofer and get two of the movie vehicles,
yeah,
two of the show vehicles. But you were looking earlier for the Huggy Bear car.
Yeah, that one was something that he wanted
to do. Joe Lombardo had actually mentioned that one a couple weeks ago, but couldn't find a good reference photo.
I couldn't.
So that one.
So if anybody has one,
yeah, if you have one, send it over. Knight Rider, you didn't seem too excited about doing.
And I'm very more interested in the TV show car than Snoop Dogg's car.
What was the Snoop Dogg's car from? That was a different movie.
Starsky and Hutch.
Oh, right.
He plays Huggy Bear in the new version.
Yeah.
And nothing against Snoop Dogg, but we want to do OG first.
Right.
Then we'll mess around.
Then we'll play around. If there's time. Scott said, I live about 3 miles from Rainbow Springs. If you're up this way, hit me up.
Okay.
Sure, we will probably head up for tubing this year. We tube. If for anyone who is not familiar with Rainbow Springs in Florida, you are dropped in a river on a tube, and you float.
For your life.
You float for miles and hours until the pickup point, and then you are shuttled back to the top of the river. What we have decided, the first time we did it, we just rented the tubes, which are just circular tubes, and you're kind of sitting in it, feet are kind of dangling over the edge. But we have since found at Walmart a tube-like seat that you're now going to bring with cup holders and like handles on it to like tie each other together. And I think that's what we decided.
A better plane.
Yes. Yeah. So next time we go, we're BYOT, bring your own tube. But yeah, we're excited. We haven't been up there in a couple of years too. That's been a couple of years ago. Robert Smith said, love this sketch. It's very fun. I want the bullhorns on my car. Step 1, get this Caddy. Step 2, put bullhorns on it. I've actually seen people around here. It probably does make sense to anyone who's familiar with our area. I've seen people just like with a normal car, like a newer car with bullhorns on there.
I actually had them on my Jeep when I came out here.
Did you? Yeah, but you came from a cowboy town.
I know, but I put bullhorns on my Jeep when I drove out of it.
Well, there's people like driving Honda Civics with bullhorns on them. Yeah, a little weird. Gavin said, would have been the movie from 05 that had Johnny Knoxville, Sean Williams, Scott, and Jessica Simpson.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Well, I do remember her playing that part, yes. But, which I thought was weird. Didn't she have blonde hair? But Daisy Duke is actually...
Yeah, because they were doing a different version.
Yeah. Rod Austin says, my favorite episodes were the first season. The first 5 episodes were actually set in Conyers, Georgia, outside of Atlanta. Those episodes had a genuine aspect that the others didn't. Yeah, sometimes after a period of time, writers change and the way they're filming it might change. Yeah, things change. Like we like to binge watch stuff. We're in the middle of a sitcom right now, and we've watched it for several seasons already. And I feel like every season there's some kind of change. I mean, the characters pretty much remain consistent, but just the way they're writing it.
Yeah.
Stuff, it does change a little bit.
Little snoozeville now.
You've been snoozing since day one. I've watched every episode all the way
through.
You're a snooze.
It's become super predictable.
And you wondered how many things they could have come up with for this to work. Like him having his hands in something and then the Duke boys exploiting it. There had to have only been so many situations. They did, what I say, it was 157 episodes or 166 episodes?
Some kind of something going on.
Always some kind of breaking the law thing. And yeah, like you said, it was the same premise, the same chase and getaway and all of that.
Nobody cared as long as they generally jumped something and there was something blowing up.
And they were sliding across their hood.
That's right, making their way.
And then everybody was trying to do that. Do you remember that?
Of course.
Did you do it?
Of course.
Did you really? Did you make it
in? No. Everybody, you gotta try it. You gotta get yourself some.
And was it just a stock car there generally, or was it chopped?
No, it was
But it was still like a smaller window space for them to have to jump into.
It's a standard Dodge Charger window. Chopped.
No.
Why would you think it was chopped?
I don't know. I just remember them. I don't know. I've never tried it. I don't think I could do it.
Do what?
Get in.
You can lift your leg.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Pot call me black.
Well, whatever kettles you want a pot call. You ain't lifting any legs.
Gavin wants to know, did you ever get your bugs, gremlins worked out?
We figured it out, yes.
Figured it out, but have not done it yet.
No, I'm a little busy.
Still got to work on it. Yeah, we have a big show.
And then I was going to work on it yesterday, and then what happened to the weather yesterday?
Yeah.
Super windy.
It was.
And rainy. And then we went to my mom's on Saturday.
Yeah.
To help her and do some stuff over there. So
it is probably now going to wait until we are back.
Unfortunately.
From Detroit, because that's kind of the focus right now. But who is heading to that show? Do we have anybody on tonight who is going to be heading to that show? Because we will be there in the basement.
Well, we don't know exactly where we'll be.
Shaggy said we'd be in the basement.
Okay.
But we'll probably be walking around. I think that's just where we're going to be hanging out, is down in the basement. And it sounds like the place to be. From what I've heard from people, that is where the real fun is happening.
From people.
Yeah.
What people do you know?
People that have said, hey, are you going to be in the basement? And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
That is the coolest place.
Tomorrow.
We're excited.
If you let me in the closet.
Mr. Crinkle BK said, did they use the Boss Hogg part in Smokey and the Bandit 2 movie?
I don't believe so, because the one in Smokey and the Bandit 2, I think, was red.
Oh.
I mean, maybe they repainted it, so it might have been. It's possible, but I thought the one in Smokey and the Bandit 2 was red.
Might have been. I like the way your white's coming out, though.
Okay.
So similar with the one color cars, like when you did the black, you had to bring in some purples and blues just to show some shine. And I'm seeing you're having to do the same here with the grays, just so to make it look like it's a bit highlighted, even though it all looks great. You know what I mean? Let's see. We've got Joe Lombardo. His car was a 76 Lincoln Continental Tap car, two-tone, white over blue interior. That could be my movie.
Yeah, that's the cars I saw. The only ones I could find a reference of was all stuff the newer version with Ben Stiller and what's his name there?
Owen
Wilson, yeah. So I didn't want to do the new version. I like doing the old one first, and then if there's a new version.
How would that not be anywhere on the internet? Somebody's got it.
I'm probably going to have to go watch some old episodes and try to find it myself. So,
Lucy said the boar's nest was changed into a church, but no longer a church, but the building is still there. Okay. Mr. Cricket said, "Oh, I thought it was white. Just me descending further into madness." LOL. Could have been. Could have been. Who knows? I am not the person to ask. That is for sure. Because I did not watch it.
Well, it was Big Enos and Little Enos' car that they took, and that one was red. But again, I'll go back and watch it.
How funny with the tufts of hair. Because that's what I remember. Is this little pieces of hair sticking out from underneath his head.
Mm-hmm.
And his little Peter.
Cottontail?
No, his little chin from Family Guy. What's his name? Peter Griffin. Peter Griffin chin. That's so funny. Whenever you're drawing a chubbier person, it's always a chin like that. And I'm like, is my chin like that? Do I have a dimple? Guys, zoom in.
To yourself.
Do I have a dimple? I don't. Yours is hidden.
Okay.
Yours is hidden.
Hey, you believe what you want to believe.
We still have 13 viewers tuned in to see how this one turns out. I think people are liking it. Likes and loves if you're digging it, guys, for sure. Feel free to share this with your friends because I'm sure there's a lot of people who remember the show and would love to see these. This design tonight will be 17 by 11, 11 by 17, however you can say it. Size, print, full color, just as you see it, Dan John. And we will have that complimentary print as well, available for $20. That's our season 3 9 from 2020. Almost 3 years ago, we did the first one with the General Lee and the boys, the cousins, if you will.
That you thought were brothers.
That I did think were brothers. Clearly they are not, as made plain by the Wikipedia. Good old Wikipedia.
Good old Wikipedia.
And like I said, if you're just joining us tonight, we try and do this every Monday night. We are pretty good about every Monday night. However, next Monday we will be here. Following Monday we will not. We will still be traveling home from that show in Detroit. So we will not have a Sketchy Live that night. But the following week, back, guys, we're going to have some stories to tell.
Yes, we will.
And we have some merch that we're bringing with us, possibly for sale, possible for giveaway. We have some stickers and our wristbands that we're probably going to be giving away there. So if we're going with merch and plan to not come home with merch, that means Johnny can pick up new merch. So there might be some fun stuff that we come home with that we'll be able to share with you guys.
Yeah,
trinkets,
trinkets,
if you will. But my first real big show, I'm excited to go. I actually bought a cute little outfit to wear. I'm excited. It's going to be freezing. I'll probably be super cold. But yeah, we're going to do some pictures and we're going to try and do some lives for you guys and give you a little insight on what's going on there. Basement. We're going to bump elbows with some bump elbows.
Rub elbows.
Rub elbows with some,
we hope.
Yes, some people in
famous people.
The culture.
We're hoping.
That are supposed to be there. So
yeah. And then we're also, excited to meet maybe some people that are like celebrities.
Yes.
But mostly we're ready to throw elbows with the cool people like you guys.
Yeah. So who is going? Anyone? Is anyone going? We had talked to Hank Dutton, our web designer. He does not live far from the show. We're hoping he makes it. So Hank, if you're listening, please come. And Shaggy LeBlanc is going to be there. He's really our ticket in the door over there. That guy does all things Autorama, and he's been working on some really cool designs for the awards and trophies and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see his work and realize we have a few of his pieces here. He sent us a couple of things. So I've got a wonderful butterfly up on my wall made with chain and nuts and bolts, and it looks so cool. Lindsay said, bring me back something from my home state. Well, I might come back with a pool, so we'll see. Yeah, it's my first time visiting this area, and from what I understand, where the show is very close to the Canadian border. So we'll be able to see over into Canada, which is cool. I've always wanted to go to Canada. Niagara Falls, really. That's been like a bucket list thing, just to see it. Yeah, just to see it. Say I was there.
You want to have your a pan moment?
Yeah, just want to wear a poncho. You know me, ponchos.
I thought it was a lanyard.
And lanyards. Well, you have to have a lanyard to get on the boat. That's your credentials. And then the boat brings you to the area. We pick up your poncho, and then it's the falls. Legend of the falls. Guys, are you seeing this?
Can you even see it?
Yes, I've been on it the whole time. I love the way the letters are coming out. Dukes of Hazzard, spelled correctly. Kudos to you. This came out really cool. What a cool scene. So the Boar's Nest was a bar and a gas station?
Well, yeah, that gas pump on front.
Okay. I feel like in our road trips that we've passed places similar to this.
I want to say you're right.
In Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina.
Yes, I want to say you're right.
When we do our traveling, we tend to stick to the plan
of getting lost.
Well, we do get lost, but we find ourselves doing what the GPS calls a shortcut, but then we end up on some country, like we're driving through neighborhoods and waiting for like cows to cross the road. Like that is not a GPS route. I don't know how we end up in these places. Nonetheless, yeah, I feel like we've passed the Boar's Nest at some point. Lizzie said the street we used to live on, all the houses are all gone. Oh, in Detroit. Send me your address. I'll Google it and see how close we're going to be. Guys, Johnny is almost ready to wrap this one up. He is just putting some finishing touches on this one. Hours. Yeah.
Okay. I better hurry up.
You're not?
Sorry.
You're doing your Chrome?
I haven't got that far yet. Where was Chrome happening?
I said you're getting ready to do your Chrome?
Yes.
That's usually the end.
We would like lay the windshield in here.
Okay. Super cool. The guys' characters came out really good. Love it. Car looks. Was their car this low, or did you do that?
Of course, you got to lower it.
So it wasn't originally like that. That's why I said Johnny's take on, because he will do it the way he wants to do it. How he would have driven it if he was driving it.
Boss Hogg somebody should have told him, you got to lower that.
You would have thought it would have lowered with him getting in the back seat. What? And did it have wide whites on it?
Yeah.
Okay. So that you had. That's
okay. Here you go.
Oh, she gave me her address in Detroit. How funny. Yeah, super cool, guys. If you haven't been over to the website, definitely check it out. We have our web designer, Hank, like I mentioned, phenomenal artist. First of all, he is a licensed red paint artist, has some great 3D creations going on over at hankb.com. That's his website. But he has done wonderful work on our website. Every live episode we've done is on our page, linked to the final design, which is for sale. We have shopping cart available for you and process everything online, and we get those shipped out right here. I'll take care of it. Small shipping fee, reasonable shipping fee, and reasonable pricing on these prints from Monday Nights, guys. $20 only. In addition to the prints, though, which there is a ton of, we also have other merchandise. You are looking at the Johnny Jalopy, zoom in on it, beanie for your colder weapons. And if you're a woman and you don't like to do it every day, this is great. You just pop it on and go. Tonight, Johnny is wearing the Sketchy speed equipment trucker hat in gray and black snapback. We also have a white and black logo, original or OG hat available as well. The Johnny Jalopy logo on it. Those are available on the website, and like over 20 different T-shirt designs and stickers. We have our stickers here. Three of these stickers are the Johnny 5, the Space Junkie 2.0, and the Funky Futura from Ventura. It's a tongue twister for me. They call it the 3FV. Those were the collaborations that Johnny and Ian Russell did on Full Custom Garage. And we have those stickers available. And then our original stickers here. You've got to get the Army sticker. The Jalopy.
You got to get yourself
the Eye Guy sticker, this one, hugely popular. Everybody loves the Eye Guy. And then our original Johnny Jalopy logo sticker. Those are available too. Two different sticker packs there for $10 each.
Yeah, not bad.
Good deal. And they're good quality stickers as well.
How's it going? Everybody not talking to you?
Nobody was saying a word.
Okay, that's what I tell. You didn't really talk to me. Tell me. Remember?
You're supposed to tell you.
You're supposed to say something.
I'm trying to wing it on my own.
Yeah, well, that doesn't work.
Questions? Do you have questions? Do you have anything you'd like to share? Talk to us so we can finish this out strong, guys. Johnny is putting in all of his highlights right now.
Why don't you talk about the show?
Esteban Mesa. Is it Mesa?
Yes, Mesa.
Cool stuff. John Wood, a.k.a. Johnny Jalopy. Check out your Sketchy Live. I'll have to pick up a shirt for sure.
Dude, stopping by, man. That's too cool.
Is this somebody you went to high school
with?
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. And what were you saying?
Let me know that you're the weeds. You're not talking.
There's no weeds. It's just people are just focused in on what you're doing.
I don't think they're focused in on the board.
They're focused in on the design. They're watching you put in all these little highlights and trying to figure out how the heck you do it. Make it look real. I know that's what I'm wondering. Because it looks very complicated, it looks very detailed, yet it's really not. You just make it look that way.
Thanks for the wow.
I'm not saying it's easy to do. I'm saying it's way less.
It's not as cool as everybody makes it out.
Less detailed.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
Than what it appears to be because of how you're drawing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying. Don't do that.
They might, but I don't know if they do.
Mr. Mesa said you guys work well together. He's not talking about us. He's probably talking about you and Ian. And yes, you do work together very well. Johnny and I, though, on the other hand.
Tough deal.
Yeah. It's brutal.
It's brutal.
Again, I'll refer you to last week's episode. But the Wraith came out great, and you had quite a few orders for that, too. That was a pretty popular design. So go check that one out. That's another movie I hadn't seen. Still haven't seen. Not interested in seeing, really.
You're missing out.
Yes, that's what everybody keeps telling me. I don't know.
You need to start watching movies. It's part of your job.
All my free time.
Yeah, well, instead of watching the lame stuff you watch the same bathroom get installed for the 18th time.
I haven't watched HGTV
in weeks.
Coons Age. That's my second time saying it. Isn't that what it is? A raccoon?
Let's go.
All right, guys. More highlights. More shine. I'm going to zoom in on this layout here so you can see exactly where he's putting that. This is not a super clear rendition. That's why we have the other one up too. This is an overhead shot, so you can see where his hand is as he's doing the highlighting. Versus this one, which is a better quality and better color representation, but we can't see where he's. That's why we've chosen this screen look, so you can see a little bit of everything.
Dead air, babe. No, you.
I know.
You can't stop talking. You got to keep talking.
And you talk to me. Nobody's talking to me. Lizzie said she loves it. I think people are liking it. We have 75 likes and loves on here. And one wow.
And one oh no.
Oh, you know what?
What? What'd you do?
No. If I hover over the loves, the likes, and the wows, it tells me who wowed. Remember how I said somebody did a mad face or an angry face?
Now we know.
I could have hovered over it and known who it was.
Well, now we can find out.
Now I know. There's no hiding, people. No hiding. I kind of wish we had a boar's nest near us. What would be the equivalent of a boar's nest in our area? Brennan's?
Brennan's.
Or what was the one down the street that we went to? Tap house?
Kind of, maybe. Yeah.
A little bit. Very saloon-like. That was one of the cool things when I went to Old Tucson. I felt like I was really in that era.
Right.
I mean, other than the people walking around with the kids and strollers and stuff.
Yeah, that totally made it different.
But I mean, the way they did the set design and everything, like you could walk into a little general store and they would have stuff for sale.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was Coke and Pepsi and stuff. But,
there was some Coke then?
Mm-hmm. But it was neat. I really honestly thought that that's where they filmed a lot of that stuff. So.
Yeah, and probably everybody who went there also thought that same thing.
Yeah. No, we're not all from California.
Yeah.
We don't all have knowledge.
I guess I found out
Bob McLaren into the angry face. Bob, on to you. How funny. That's great. No longer a mystery, guys.
You're never going to get away with it now.
Mm-mm. I do love the picture here in the set. Super cool. Where you put detail in? Face. You almost have to put a couple little red dots at the end of his scar there. There you go. Super cool. Wasn't there like a secret back room that he would do when he met with people?
Always, yeah.
Bob McLaren said on Gibson. Bob, was it you all along or just tonight? Now that I've said something. That's funny. I'm going to do a quick check on YouTube because I did see some new names come through.
Yeah.
Possibly we may have our 700. We are at 700 subscribers.
Nice.
Touching, guys. Thank you so much for your support over there, by the way. We have only really started promoting YouTube subscriptions, I would say, last year.
Yeah.
So within a year, maybe even less, because I don't think it was the beginning of last year. I think it was like mid-year. We started really pushing the ads and subscribes over here. So thank you for how fast we've grown over there. And again, we hope to add more content over there. And Johnny's talked about doing some tutorial stuff. And we really want to get that going again right now until we get back from the show. Our whole focus right now is just being ready to go.
Getting there.
Getting to the show and doing well over there. So once we get back there, there will be some tutorial things. I know Johnny's got some work to do on Kona, like we talked about, so he's probably going to have me film that, maybe talk you through what he's doing on the car. So you'll see a little bit of his tinkering abilities. In addition to his art abilities, he's also mechanically inclined as well. So we will watch some of that. We'll probably do some tutorials on drawing, shading, or whatever little topic that he wants to do, just to share that with people. I know when he first started out in doing the digital art, because that wasn't something he had available back in the 80s and 90s when he first started drawing. So this is totally, the digital art is really just learned in the last 10 years or so.
For sure.
So he had reached out to several people, how do you do it, what are you doing, how do you do it, and nobody really seemed free to share. So, it's something that he worked on self-taught and wants to share with people. So I think these tutorials would be a great thing to do. We might do a question answer segment, maybe bring some people in on a live. We've talked about that. We've talked about doing a 51 episode, which is the podcast that we've done a few episodes on. In fact, when we come back from Detroit, we probably won't do drawing. We'll probably just do
definitely
a 51 episode and share some stuff. But we'd like to get with some of you who want to share your story or share your love for the culture or share some talents that you have. We'd like to bring you on and have you be a part of that as well. So if you're interested in that, please let us know. So we get you on. We've had Howard Coupon here at the house. He actually came out, and there's a two-part show we did with him when he was here, and that was fascinating. He's just a fantastic, fascinating person. We've had the McCoys on live with us, but it was a very short segment. So we'd like to really delve into what the McCoys have going on over at Kuyon Customs. Gary Fisher is somebody that we'd like to bring on. His brain a bit. We've had Lane Kelton here, who is from Alabama, a viewer of the show and a friend of ours, and fantastic welder, and just loves cars and has a passion for that too. So he was on a couple years ago now. So yeah, there is a ton of you guys, and we'd love to be able to showcase that and learn from you. Share what you do with our little community here, which will be Army. So if that's something that you're interested in, please definitely reach out and we will make it happen. Mr. Crinkle says, I really like the way you put the shine glint on the cars. It really puts icing on the cake. I know. It really does.
Thanks.
Lizzie is congratulating you. Nice job on the YouTube channel.
Thank you.
She said the address I gave you is the last time me and my family lived there in 1979. Wow. If we were even remotely close and I can get past that, how cool would that be?
That would be cool. For sure. Oops. Okay.
All right, guys. What do we have going on? I'm going to zoom in on the main screen here so you can really see these colors. Boy, that color looks great. Mariette said looks great. Yeah, it came out cool. And add a logo, looks like. There it is. And then Johnny's got to sign it, and then we will be through with this cool design. Again, guys, second in the series. John's talked about doing a couple other cars from this show, too. So stay tuned for those. Once we get back, we'll see where we can work them in. I have a feeling when you come back, the first couple back to drawing nights are going to be some cars that you saw at the show.
Probably.
Johnny is a huge Batman fan, and there were some talks you shared with me last week that one of the Batman cars may be at this show. So he's super excited to see that.
There's no talks that's happening.
Yes. Oh, all right. I don't know if they committed. Okay.
So I sent that flyer thing to you.
Oh. I never know what I'm allowed to say, what I'm not allowed to say. So I try and stay pretty vague.
Except when you're supposed to be vague.
Right.
There you go, Johnny Jalopy 23. There it is. Oh. Boss Hogg sitting in front of the old boar's nest.
Yeah, great.
With the Dukes of Hazzard.
Super
there you
cool.
go. All right. Sorry I had to talk a lot. I'm sorry that everybody wasn't saying anything.
I know. It was tough.
And then you didn't say, hey, nobody's talking. You got to let me know. Remember, that was the agreement. Because remember, I'm over here, zoned in. You're giving me the look, and I don't like it when you do that. I'm going to tell you something once we're off this.
Because when you hear me not talking, and then you hear me just spewing off information.
That's kind of how you are normal. Is you're just spewing off information. Okay. Well, there you go, guys. Oh, my neck is just toast. Another Monday night in the books. We sure appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Do we have some viewers at least?
Yeah, there's still 12 people viewing.
12 whole people. Well, we appreciate you, 12 whole people. And, of course, you over there on YouTube, subscribe, hit the subscribe button. We do this kind of thing every Monday night. You are watching probably one of the few live sketching shows. I'm doing this live. We're not,
This isn't pre-recorded.
And edited. No, we're doing it. You're seeing all the mistakes, the mess ups, the interaction, the arguments, the frustrations, the love, the passions, the fun. I didn't know they didn't film that in New York. You learn some stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Hey, so if you get an opportunity, head over to the website, johnnyjalopy.com. We got hats, stickers, t-shirts. I'm, of course, wearing tonight the Sketchy Speed Equipment shirt and the Sketchy Speed Equipment hat. Ity-B is rocking the Johnny Jalopy beanie. And, of course, her custom-made sweatshirt as well, I believe.
Yes.
It was exclusive. And we sure appreciate you. The hat, stickers, all kinds of cool stuff over there. And we'll see you guys. Are we one more Monday before we leave?
Next Monday is our last one before we head out.
So stay tuned. I hear through the grapevine that someone who watches this show, their car will be sketched on Sketchy Live this coming Monday.
Oh.
Will it be your car? It might be. Who knows? Next Monday and see. Maybe drop me a line. Show me your car. But I've already picked the car. And that person has no idea I'm going to.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun. Yep.
Sweet.
So,
all right, guys.
Sketchy Live next Monday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And, of course, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button. And thank you, 700 people that have already subscribed. This is awesome. We're well on our way. We're almost to 1,000. Almost. It's just another little 400 more people. Oh, it's 300. Math is hard.
It is.
Drawing's easier.
All right, guys.
All right, we'll see you guys. Have a great one. Sketchy. We'll see you next Monday.